Greenland, the world's largest island, is a land of stunning natural beauty and rich cultural heritage. This island is located between the Arctic and Atlantic Oceans, in the east of the Canadian Arctic archipelago, and is known as an autonomous territory in the Kingdom of Denmark. Its vast expanses covered with ice and its remote and rugged landscapes attract the attention of adventurers and researchers. Despite the harsh climate, Greenland is home to a hardy population of about 56,000 people, mostly made up of indigenous Inuit people who have lived in this challenging environment for thousands of years. The country's capital, Nuuk, is the heart of Greenland's political, economic, and cultural life, blending modernity with long-standing traditions. Summary of the history of Greenland. The inhabitants of the frozen land of Greenland are mostly Eskimos and Danish immigrants who have lived in parts of this country for the past 4,500 years. This country has had a history of settlement since the middle of the 3rd millennium BC, but this settlement was not permanent and has an intermittent situation. This country was unknown to Europeans until the 10th century AD, and this process continued until the group of Norwegian Vikings lost their way on this route and reached uninhabited shores. A summary of the geography of Greenland. Greenland is a land located in the middle of the frozen northern oceans. Danes and Eskimos live on this island. Greenland is geographically located on the North American continent and is politically and culturally more connected to Europe. The area of Greenland is 2 million square kilometers. The population of this country in 2017 was announced to be around 561,000 people. The Greenland Sea becomes the most important sea of the Greenland island and generally covers the largest area of the country and is located around the North Pole. The highest point of this island is Mount Bjorn. In the northern areas of this island, the sun shines continuously and without sunset for 5 months of the year in the sky of this country. This country has a cold and dry polar climate, and most parts of this island are covered by natural glaciers. Another name for Greenland is the frozen oceans. This country has little rainfall, and generally the amount of rainfall is higher in the southern part of the country than in the north. Heavy rain is observed in this country. The amount of snowfall will also be different in different regions of this country. Many animal and plant species can be seen in Greenland, and wild whales and polar bears are important parts of it. As of 2023, Greenland has a population of approximately 56,000 people, primarily concentrated in coastal towns and settlements. The capital, Nuuk, is the largest city and the administrative and economic hub of the country. The population is predominantly Inuit, with a small percentage of people of Danish and other European descent. By 2035, Greenland's population is projected to experience modest growth, reaching around 60,000–65,000 people. This increase is driven by several factors. There is a noticeable increase in the youth population, with enhanced educational opportunities and a focus on retaining young talent within the country. This demographic shift is supported by policies promoting youth engagement in environmental conservation and innovation. Cost of living in Greenland. We know that the cost of living in Denmark is very similar to Germany, and until Greenland secedes, it will still be very similar in cost to Denmark, but overall it can improve the fare conditions in Greenland. It is considered in terms of the final price of the products. If you want to choose the big and industrial cities of Greenland to live, about 6,000 kroner per month should be considered. Of course, in case of satisfaction, this cost will be reduced. The next thing is that one chooses small towns to reduce the cost of living in Greenland. In fact, there are few amenities in the small towns of this country, and this changes the life process a little. Renting a house in this country generally costs about 7,000 kroner. And it is clear that the cost of renting a house in this country is expensive. The cost of food is about 1,000 kroner. Of course, if you are interested in consuming vegetables and natural products, this cost will be lower. The transportation situation in Greenland has improved somewhat, so you should consider a budget of 200 kroner for sightseeing in this country. In general, this country is suitable in terms of the cost of medical services, and 100 kroner is enough in this regard. If you want to eat in an expensive restaurant in this country, you have to spend 100 kroner. Now, if you want to include 3 meals in a regular restaurant for 2, it will cost you 300 or 400 kroner. You need to spend 15 kroner to buy a one-way public transport ticket. You need to spend about 800 kroner to buy a pair of jeans in this country. Meanwhile, the cost of buying a pair of summer clothes in this country is 360 kroner. If you want to save money, you should keep in mind that some residential areas in Greenland are cheap, so it is better to enter these areas and take the right direction. Religion in Greenland. The people of Greenland are mostly Christians, and in general there are few religious gatherings in this country. Few people have converted to Islam in Greenland. Cost of feed in Greenland. Food available in Greenland is not much different from American and European food, but some local food can be found in this region, and most travelers go to Greenland markets to experience its taste. The costs that must be paid for food in this country are different. The cost of a meal in an excellent restaurant is equal to 100 Danish kroner. The cost of food in an average restaurant for 2 people is equal to 357 Danish kroner. The cost of each McDonald's sandwich is 89 Danish kroner. The cost of mineral water is 90 Danish kroner. And the cost of a drink is 25 Danish kroner. Wonders of Greenland. Aurora Borealis is one of the most interesting sights in Greenland, and visiting this part of the country's sky is free. If you are interested in adventure or watching natural attractions, it is better to use Putin to visit the natural phenomena of this country, and wear warm clothes. Another name that is considered for Aurora Borealis is Northern Dawn. When the Aurora Borealis appears, the sky comes down to earth and darkness covers everything. Another interesting part that is on the list of wonders of Greenland is watching the animal life. This island has many wild and free animals in its waters, which has caused the tourism industry to grow well in this country. Many whales can be seen in the waters of this country. These whales live freely on the island of Greenland, and of course some of them are wild and dangerous. Polar bears and wild bulls, as well as reindeer and lionfish, are other sights of Greenland that can be interesting to you. Official holiday in Greenland. There are few official holidays in Greenland, and in general people in this country are very interested in work. January the 1st is New Year's Day in Greenland, and on this day people generally try to get together and have a happy day. This day in Greenland becomes a pure and precious intention. January 6th in Greenland is a special royal period that people celebrate and have fond memories of the past. This history has more value in the eyes of the people. June 5th is also the Constitution of Greenland. On this day, people try to enact laws that they declare contrary to the conditions and ask the government to participate in changing the existing laws. December 24th is Christmas Eve in Greenland. Remember that for this day, you should try to give gifts to your loved ones and also participate in the festivities and parades of the city. December 31st is New Year's Eve in Greenland, and people in this country can wear bright clothes and special hats. Greenland culture. In Greenland, much of the culture is similar to Denmark, where people strongly believe in equality. In Greenland, gender has no meaning and men and women are equal. Greenland's veil is covered due to the cold weather. In general, most Greenlanders are modest in their accomplishments, and there is no pride among them. Families in Greenland are small, and children are raised to be independent from an early age. In this country, people are very interested in giving gifts to each other, and this issue can be seen in different parts of these people's lives. You must remove your shoes when entering a Greenlander's home. Dinner in this country is more than lunch. The flag of Greenland has special colors, and each color represents the history of this country. In Greenland, an appointment is required, and confirmation of the appointment must be in writing. In the first meeting, handshake is very important, and eye contact is also done. In this country, greetings are informal, and a smile is enough. The name Greenland was bestowed on the place in the 10th century by Eric the Red. Eric was a Norwegian who had been living in Iceland, but he'd been exiled from there as punishment for killing a neighbor as part of an escalating feud. Eric was an adventurous sort, so he struck out to the unexplored west and eventually found a small habitable spot on the mostly ice-covered island. According to the saga of Eric the Red, he named it Greenland in hopes that it would help lure other settlers there. Instead of being out there by himself, he could set himself up as a big man in a larger community. Apparently it sort of worked, because Icelandic Vikings, fleeing famine in Iceland, set up a couple of settlements on the few habitable bits of land in Greenland a few years later. Greenlandic cuisine. Fisk is the name of a type of fish that is widely used in Greenland. This dish is served a little spicy and is generally delicious and pleasant. As evidence shows, fresh lemon juice as well as parsley and dill are used in this dish, and cucumber salad is also used next to it. This food is very nutritious for children and has a pleasant taste. Greenlandic people are very fond of using sausages, and sausages are used in almost all dishes of this country. Sausages are usually served in slices of bread and are often flavored with hot onions. In general, the use of grilled sausage and ham is also very high in this country. Greenlandic people are very fond of using bread. Baguettes and round breads in Greenland are of excellent quality, and tasty breads are used in different meals day and night. Kurbinter is one of the most famous dishes served in Greenland. This dish is in the form of meatballs, and breadcrumbs are poured inside. This country also has many fans in Denmark, and it is very delicious. The people of this country mix part of the meat with flour and prepare it as a roll. The use of eggs also makes this dish more delicious. Of course, this dish is expensive due to the large amount of meat, and the general public may not be able to use it, but its unique taste is imprinted in people's minds.